I want you to think about someone in your life who always seemed to know exactly what you were feeling before you even said a word. Someone who made you feel understood in a way you'd never felt before. Got them? Now I need you to consider something that might rearrange everything you believe about that person. What if their ability to read you wasn't a gift they were giving you, but a skill they were using on you? Because here's what researchers discovered about the most dangerous psychological predators alive. They don't lack empathy. They have more of it than almost anyone you know. They feel your emotions like a sonar system. They map your pain with surgical precision. They know exactly where it hurts, and then they use that map to navigate straight to your most vulnerable place. And they do it while you are thanking them for how well they understand you. You didn't fall for them. You were studied. This is called dark empathy. And by the end of this video, you will never be fooled by it again. Since childhood, you've been handed one equation as truth. Empathy equals goodness. The empathetic person is the hero, the one who checks on you, who feels what you feel, who cries when you cry. Every film, every therapist, every self-help book points you toward empathetic people as the safe ones. And that belief is the exact vulnerability being exploited. Because empathy is not a virtue. Empathy is a tool. And like every tool in human history, it can build something beautiful, or it can be used as a weapon. Most people never question this. That's why it works. Here's what nobody teaches you. There are two completely different types of empathy, and mixing them up is how predators get inside your life undetected. Affective empathy, feeling what another person feels. You cry at a funeral because you feel their grief. It costs you something. It's involuntary. This is what most people picture. Cognitive empathy, understanding what another person feels without feeling it yourself. It's the ability to read emotions like a navigation system. Cold, precise, and in the wrong hands. Devastating. Affective empathy makes you kind. Cognitive empathy, weaponized, makes you dangerous. But the study that changed everything on this topic will make your stomach drop. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Stay with me. In 2021, psychologist Nadia Haim and her team at Nottingham Trent University published research on a psychological profile that most people have never heard of. They called them Dark Empaths. These are individuals who score high in cognitive empathy and high in what's known as the dark triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. Now, when most people hear psychopath or narcissist, they picture the cold, unfeeling, obviously cruel person, the one who gives you the creeps, the one you instinctively avoid. That's not who you need to worry about. The dark empath isn't cold. They're warm. They're perceptive. They ask the right questions. They validate the pain that nobody else acknowledged. They feel, to every metric you have available, like a safe person. I've seen people trust them faster than they trust their own instincts. The research found something staggering. Dark empaths were rated as more likable on first impression than ordinary dark triad individuals. More charming, more socially skilled, and more dangerous precisely because of it. And here's the part that keeps researchers up at night. Because they present as warm and empathetic, they pass every social filter you have. Your gut doesn't flag them. Your friends like them. Your family approves. The very instincts designed to protect you from predators are used against you, because those instincts were calibrated for the cold predator, not the warm one. That feeling of being deeply, completely seen by someone, in the hands of a dark empath, it is not intimacy. It is data. It is reconnaissance. Let me tell you about Maya. Her name has been changed, but her story is real. Maya met him at a work event. He approached her within 20 minutes, and somehow within an hour, he'd gotten her talking about her father's death, the estrangement from her sister, the relationship that broke her 3 years earlier. She went home that night feeling something she described as being found. Within 3 weeks, he knew everything. Her fears, her triggers, the specific ways she'd been hurt before, the insecurities she'd never said out loud to anyone. She'd given it all to him because he made her feel safe enough to. He never asked for it aggressively. He never pushed. He just created space, and she filled it. And he remembered everything. Every detail became leverage later. That's the thing about dark empaths. They take notes. Not literally, but they remember what makes you flinch, what makes you light up, what makes you feel small, what makes you feel chosen. And here's when the mask started to slip. The first time Maya disagreed with him, genuinely disagreed, the warmth disappeared. Not dramatically, he didn't explode. He just went quiet, withdrew. And she found herself apologizing for a disagreement she had every right to have. That's when the control begins. Not with anger, with absence. Because the absence of his warmth felt unbearable compared to what she'd gotten used to. That's the mechanism. That's the architecture. The warmth was never unconditional. It was a controlled environment. And the moment she stepped outside its terms, she felt the withdrawal. And she was the one who worked to get back. He had reverse-engineered her attachment and then used it as leverage. And she thought it was love. And she handed him the blueprints.
Let me break down exactly how this works, because once you see the architecture, you will recognize it everywhere. Stage 1, the scan. They enter any environment and immediately map the emotional landscape. Who is insecure? Who is lonely? Who is carrying an unhealed wound? They don't guess, they read. In a room full of people, they find the open door in under 10 minutes. Stage 2, the mirror. They reflect you back to yourself. They say the thing you needed to hear, the exact thing, at the exact moment. Within days, sometimes hours, you feel understood in a way that feels almost unreal, because it is. This is called mirroring. In a healthy person, it's connection. In a dark empath, it is a mask built from your own face. Stage 3, the investment. Now you're attached. You share more. You trust more. You open rooms you've kept locked for years. They now have your fears, your wounds, your desires, all of it, voluntarily given. Stage 4, the leverage. This is where most people never realize what happened to them, because it's rarely dramatic. It doesn't always look like abuse. It looks like a comment that hits too precisely, a joke that lands exactly where you're insecure, warmth that disappears at the exact moment you needed it most. The information you shared in trust has become an instruction manual. They don't break you loudly, they adjust you quietly. And because they understand your pain so well, they can cause it with extraordinary precision while maintaining complete, plausible deniability. Here's what you came for. 5 flags that will never leave you once you know them. Flag 1, intimacy that arrives too fast. If someone feels like your soulmate inside 2 weeks, slow down. Real connection takes time. Manufactured connection takes minutes. Flag 2, warmth with an on-off switch. Genuine empathy doesn't disappear when you're inconvenient. If it does, it was never empathy. It was access. Flag 3, they return to your wounds with precision. Not randomly, not occasionally. Precisely, repeatedly. That's not coincidence. Flag 4, you feel more confused about yourself before you met them. Healthy relationships bring clarity. This doesn't. This makes you question your reality and then depend on them to explain it back to you. Flag 5, their empathy only flows one direction. Need them? Really need them? Watch what happens. That's the moment everything becomes clear. I'm not telling you to distrust empathetic people. I'm telling you to upgrade your definition. Real empathy costs the person giving it. It drains them. It affects them. Weaponized empathy costs nothing. In fact, it feeds them. After any conversation where you shared something real, ask yourself, do I feel more connected or more exposed? More seen or more indebted? Your body already knows. You've just been trained to ignore it. Stop ignoring it. Now you know the architecture, the scan, the mirror, the investment, the leverage. But here's what I haven't told you yet, and this is the part that disturbs people most. Dark empaths aren't always other people. The same cognitive empathy that makes them dangerous, some of you watching this right now have it, and you've used it. Maybe not to destroy someone, but to manage them, to read the room, to say the exact thing that kept you safe. That's where it starts. The line between protection and manipulation is thinner than you think. That's the next video. If there's someone in your life you're unsure about, don't name them. Describe the feeling they leave you with. One word. I read every single one. And if this made something click for you, you already know what to do.